Okay, well, let's read, shall we? What I want us to do, open to Genesis 16. Sorry, do you need a break? Y'all need a break? All right, just go get up and go to the bathroom if you need to, get some water if you need to. But for everybody else, we're gonna just jump right in. Genesis 16. And I'm gonna read this with us, with y'all, and just make some comments about what's going on in the narrative, okay, as we go through. Everybody's open, Genesis 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bore him no children. Okay, so we're reminded again, the author, the narrator is reminding us again of the central problem of this whole thing. She had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. Okay, she's from Egypt. Any guesses where she came from? Or how they acquired her? They went down into Egypt in chapter 12. Remember that? And they came out with slaves. And so they have Hagar within their company now. And Sarai said to Abram, "Behold now, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go into my maid. It may be that I shall obtain children by her." Literally, the Hebrew says, "be built up from her." And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. So after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, so at this point he's 85 years old. He was 75 when he was called out. Now he's 85. After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, her maid, and gave her to Abram, her husband, as a wife. It's very clear. Like he's like, this person is the wife, and he's given her another wife. And he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, she looked with contempt on her mistress. Okay, so there's a little, you got pregnant on the first time. Y'all have been trying for decades and decades. Clearly the problem wasn't with Abram. Okay, so Hagar is looking with contempt upon Sarai. And Sarai said to Abram, "May the wrong done to me be on you. I gave my maid to your embrace," or to your bosom. "And when she saw that she had conceived, she looked on me with contempt. May the Lord judge between you and me." But Abram said to Sarai, "Behold, your maid is in your power. Do to her as you please." Then Sarai dealt harshly with her, and she fled from her. Okay. This is the first time we kind of see Sarai interacting, and it's not a pretty picture. "May the wrong done to me," in the Hebrew it actually says, it's more like the violence, Hamas. "May the outrageous violence done to me be on you." Now, what kind of outrageous violence happened to Sarai? It was a look like this. Okay. The only violent person in the scene is who? Sarai. It says she dealt harshly with her. Again, it's the word is a lot. It's more like abused. Sarai abused her, oppressed her, and so Hagar flees. Now she said something quite peculiar. She says, "May the Lord judge between you and me." May Yahweh judge between you and me. So it's kind of rhetorical, but God is going to get involved. And he does so in the very next scene. So it says, "The angel of the Lord found her," that is Hagar, "by a spring of water in the wilderness, the spring on the way to Shur." Of course, because everybody knows where that is. "And he said, 'Hagar, maid of Sarai, where have you come from? and where are you going? See how tender that question is? She said, I am fleeing from my mistress, Sarai. The angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit to her. As in, subject yourself to her abuse. It uses the same word that was used whenever Sarai was abusing her. Submit to her. The angel of the Lord also said to her, I will so greatly multiply your descendants that they cannot be numbered for multitude. Okay. So, there's a mystery going on here, where the angel of the Lord is saying to Hagar, look, you're going to die out here in the wilderness. You need to return back to this violent situation, but your suffering is not going to be meaningless. Like, I see your suffering. But if you endure this suffering now, it's going to bear fruit through your child. It says, so he says again, and the angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are with child, and shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has given heed to your affliction. He shall be a wild ass of a man, his hand against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell over against all his kinsmen. So she called the name of the Lord, So she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, thou art a God of seeing, El Roi. For she said, have I really seen God and remained alive after seeing him? Therefore the well was called Be'er, means well, La Hai Roi. It lies between Kadesh and Bered, of course. Okay. And Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram called the name of his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram. So the author at the very end there is making it very clear that Ishmael is connected to Abram. So God is not going to have this son of Abram wandering around, without a father. That's not going to be how God works. This was not plan A, but God still cares for every one of his children. And though Sarai is going to have to suffer right now, it's going to bear fruit in God's time. Everybody see that? Chapter 17 is about circumcision. Okay. So we're going to read chapter 17. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram. Okay, these years are important. So the author here is trying to tell us something not only about Abram by giving us this year. Abram has just had a child through Hagar at the age of 86. Now Abram is 99, which means his son Ishmael is going to be about 13. So he's coming into manhood. And so now Abram is probably thinking, okay, what's that? A bar mitzvah. Abram is probably thinking, this is the time for my son to begin to have children. This is the beginning of the promise of descendants, of seed. Now I'm going to be able to see God's promise fulfilled.